Hi, my name is Angela Maytang Unayan, and I am one of the ACSYA youth health ambassadors for this program. And today we're here to conduct a healthcare career interview pathway. Could you please introduce yourself and share your current role in healthcare?
Yeah, so my name is Tae Butler. I go by Dr. Tae. I'm a second year pediatrics resident at UCLA.
Okay. What inspired you to choose such a career in healthcare, and how did you know that it was the right path for you?
Yes, I think, similar to you, I have a personal tie to medicine. When I was 9 years old, I was diagnosed with leukemia and I was treated at UCLA. But it was during that time when I I don't know, experienced medicine truly for the first time, and saw the power that we have to heal, but also the power we have to make connections during the scariest time in someone's life. And it really stuck with me. It made me very curious about medicine and how the body worked. But it also really made me value being in those moments and walking alongside someone when they're going through the scariest moment of their life, particularly kids. So I knew I wanted to be a pediatrician since that experience. And after, 25 years of school, we finally made it. So I'm hoping to pursue a career in pediatric oncology after I finish my residency.
That's really amazing and so inspiring that, you're turning something that was really personal for you into something that's going to help so many people in the future. So you mentioned like the 25 years of long like education and
Mhm.
all that. So kind of how did that look like? What was that journey? And maybe like if you didn't become a pediatrician, like what would have been some alternative paths that some, people my age would be able to take?
Yeah, there's actually a lot of opportunities. I say when people come to me and say they want to help people, there's so many ways that you can do that. That's not just medicine. But even within medicine, there's so many different routes you can take. The healthcare system truly is a system and a team. And yes, like the doctors are at the core of it, but so are our nurses. We have physician assistants, techs. There's so many different roles that you can play in the system to help people. For me, I actually probably would have become a vet, like a
Oh,
veterinarian.
okay. That's really cool.
Yeah, I really love animals in that way too, but I like being able to talk to people, and you can't quite talk to animals, so that was kind of the distinguishing point for me. But yeah, there's a lot of different ways that you can pursue a career where you're helping people and also pursue a career in medicine. It's not just being a doctor. But I personally am a little bit biased. I think being a doctor is pretty great.
That's really great. I think that, that's very cool that you would have probably become a
I would
vet
have
if not a
been
doctor. That's actually very fun. And I think I can
that.
totally see why. Like, I mean, who can resist hanging out with a bunch of animals all the
No,
time, right?
that'd be so fun. That'd be sweet. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree
So,
with
I'm aware
it.
that like some physicians choose to do like research in addition to becoming physicians. Is this something like that you're looking into, or are you just kind of like, oh, I just want to look after patients and that's all I want to do?
Yeah, that's a really great question. Before I started medical school, I was kind of not too passionate about research. I knew you kind of honestly do have to do a little bit of research when you're pursuing a career in medicine because medicine is built on research. Everything that we use to treat patients with, and all of the kind of protocols that we follow are research based. So someone studied them at some point. The reason I went into medicine was to connect with people, and to be able to use knowledge that I've spent a lot of time learning to help someone. Um, but then I got to medical school and I saw how intertwined research and actual like patient care was, and it made me a little bit more passionate about it. So now that once you actually have the opportunity to see the real world applications of the work that you're doing in a lab, like helping someone and literally like curing their disease, that was very special. So I think once I made that connection that no, the work that I'm doing in the lab away from everybody is actually having a tangible impact, that was really nice. So in oncology, you honestly have to do research. It's built into the fellowship, which makes sense because all of our cancer protocols are based on research, and we need to continue the research in order to find better cures and better treatments for kids with cancer and honestly anyone with cancer. But I think what I plan to do in my career is do a little bit more clinical research. So there's kind of like conventional lab-based research where you're working with cells or, working with drugs. And then there's clinical patient-facing research where you're working on just studying like different interventions that are very patient-facing. And I'm very passionate about like the holistic patient experience that kids have when they're in the hospital or when they're going through treatment. So I think my research will focus on how can I improve that experience. It's already like gonna be what it's gonna be, but how can we make it a little bit better, knowing kind of what these kids are gonna have to face.
Yeah, that's very exciting. And I really do wish you all the best in that because
So,
I think it's so important. Like you said, I mean, both of us, we've been in a hospital for a really long
yeah.
time. And
Hmm.
I'm sure that it was even tougher back then when like the research wasn't as much. And so I think you wanting to give back and also improve like not just like the actual cure itself, but the experience of what it's like to be a patient is so important and really needs to be talked about more amongst, I think, more professionals. I think that goes for any, like, honestly, any field of medicine. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure that we all know, like, kids sometimes they're scared to go to see the doctor. And I can imagine, like, a kid telling them, oh, like, you have something as serious as cancer. Then, yeah, I
Yeah.
think I'd be more than just a bit freaked out. And,
Hmm.
having people who care for me and other patients, I think that's such an important part that will help improve the overall healing experience.
I agree. Yeah, I completely agree. So we're working on it.
Yeah. So, I'm sure since you've been a patient yourself, but you're also now somebody who treats patients. So, do you have any advice or like insider tips that you would share with students who would like to consider this career?
Ooh, good question. Um, okay, so I have both like practical tips and also like kind of vibes tips.
Okay, yeah,
So
go on and share. Let's see, let's
yes,
hear it.
practically, it's a lot of school and a lot of studying. So pay attention in your classes and try to do well in school.
Yeah.
Because it does matter, and we take a lot of exams, like every couple years. And even once you become a physician, you're kind of, we call it like lifelong learning, which is really fun because things are changing and you get to kind of continue expanding your knowledge base, which is really cool. And again, you're seeing that real world application of it when you treat patients. But it is a lot of material that you need to know. So that's kind of my practical advice. From an emotional standpoint, you should do whatever is going to set your soul on fire and whatever is going to excite you and get you excited to wake up every morning, go to work, do whatever like actually fuels you. And I always call it kind of like finding your why and what the reason is behind the choices that you're making for your career, for life. Even if like at this age you want to go into medicine, asking yourself why at this point right now, and holding on to that because when it does get hard, those are going to be the things that you call upon in order to keep going and push through the challenges that are inevitable. So,
Mhm.
kind of both of those. Do well in school, but also follow the path and figure out why you're doing it and hold it tight.
Mhm. What are
Yeah.
some things that you personally kind of like think about that helps get you through those tough moments? And are there like any other maybe like non-academic things that help support you in this journey?
Yeah, of course, I think about my time as a patient, and I think about my family who went through the experience with me. Um, and I think about how, like, the stuff that I'm studying can directly help someone who was just like me, which is very special and healing in its own way. And then as I've gone through residency and medical school and had the opportunity to interact with patients who have a similar diagnosis or honestly who are just in the hospital at all, each of those moments also sticks with me and is like another thing to call upon when things get tough. So it's kind of nice because as you move through the process, you find new things that help fuel you along the way and keep you going. But I think having that like original why is very helpful. And then, of course, I like to exercise a lot, and I find a lot of stress relief from exercising. But it's also very empowering for me. So that's something that I kind of continue through my residency training, and I started doing in medical school and college that has been very helpful.
Yeah, I've been actually following your journey and
I see
oh
you,
my
girl.
gosh, it's insane. Like I see all the workouts you do and I'm like, how are you not dropping
Oh my
dead
gosh,
after
so fun.
everything?
It's so good. It's so much fun. And like, yeah, it's just having other things that excite you too. And also, I feel like, at least in the fitness space, when I get through a hard workout, that like mental resilience that I'm building then translates over into the work that I'm doing. And I'm like, okay, I can get through a 24-hour shift. Like I can do it. It's hard, but
Mhm.
it's temporary.
Mhm.
But honestly, I
The
think
pain is worth it in
the
the
pay's
end.
worth it. Yes. I think honestly though, like having cancer too kind of instilled that in me a bit because you have to like have not only something to look forward to, honestly, to help get you through, but like the the knowledge that whatever challenge you're going through is temporary and will end, and like you just have to get to the next thing, has been very helpful
I
for,
think nothing motivates you more than staring death in the face and
you
being
know what
like,
I
not
mean?
today. I still got more things to do.
I've got more things to do. And then you start to realize as you move through life, you're like, oh, other things actually aren't as bad. And then
Yeah.
it's helpful. Like it
Yeah.
sucked, but it's helpful. So
Yeah, that's definitely, I think, everybody, I'm sure, like, even if they haven't had cancer or any like major illness in their life, they all have their own little battles that we all have to fight.
yeah.
And I think that knowing that, you still have so many things that you want to achieve is definitely a
Mhm.
really good way to continue motivating yourself to achieve whatever goals you have. And I
Yeah.
think, like, I see like the way that you do it, you made small changes. And like, even if it's not a perfect kind of like schedule where
Yeah.
you always stick to those changes, but small things eventually will build up into bigger habits. And I think that really can apply to many things in our lives. And I think if there's any goals that students want to set, it's definitely important to maybe break down things into smaller steps so that
Yeah.
you can eventually reach that big goal. So it's really motivational to hear that, you found a passion in something that is still health related, but
Still health
it's not
related.
always, it doesn't always have to be books and reading, even though that's
Yeah.
great, but you need to do something for yourself sometimes.
Exactly. You got to fill your own cup before you pour into everybody else's cup. And yeah, it's important to have things that you're passionate about and that excite you.
Yeah. You mentioned like the 24-hour shift. So I'm sure that like some people who already know that they would like to become doctors have
Mhm.
probably heard about like how tough it is, but can you kind of walk me through what that 24-hour shift looks like and maybe some of the challenges that you see with it?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, which maybe I'm not. No, I do think I'm a good person to ask because I think there's polarizing views. I actually don't think residency is that hard, quite honestly.
Hmm.
But it is demanding of your time and energy. For the shifts that we work, so we work anywhere from like normal people hours, which is like 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, weekends off. Um, Anywhere from that to like 24, 26-hour shifts. Some
Wow.
residency programs, depending on the specialty that you're in, so some like surgical subspecialties can work up to 28 hours. I think that's now the limit that they set.
Wow. That's
So
intense.
I know. So we work in my program, 24 hours is the most that we work. And it's so loud. It's fine. Like it's the first times you do it, it's like what is happening? And then honestly, you get used to it. Um, I think I'm fortunate enough to be in a program that cares about our wellness, so they give us the rest of the day. We end the 24-hour shift off and then the following day off, so you have time to recover, and then you don't go back working another 24-hour shift. So it's like it's spread out.
Right.
The days are long, but I will also say I love going to work and like I'm working alongside all of my friends too. So you're friends with all the people that you're working with. And again, if you like your job, the patients are fun. Like it's work, but it's the
You
challenge
found
of
your
music.
community in that
Yeah.
work.
So I'm like, it's not too bad, but I would be prepared to have some weird sleep schedules, and a lot of us like will drink sleepy time teas or like whatever to try to get our sleep on track because it's kind of crazy, but it's only for a couple years, and then after that, you're a big shot attending, and you're like living
Killing,
life.
living the life.
Yeah, you're living a good life. So again, all temporary, and an investment in your future, but
No pain, no gain.
no pain, no gain. I'm like, I'm having a great time. I'm a little biased, I think, but I love residency. So
No, we love to see somebody who loves their job, especially for something
yeah,
as important as this, because
I'm
I'm sure that like definitely for me, I was your patient and I really loved it whenever you would come in. You would
it's
really
so
light up my
fun,
room. And I
right?
think that it's great because you can tell whether your doctor likes the job or not. And
Yeah.
it's so nice to have somebody not only care about you, but also care about themselves and want to make the experience fun for everybody during a really tough time in their lives. So I think it's definitely heartwarming to see somebody
Mhm.
who really loves their job.
Oh, good.
Um, I know that like before residency, like obviously you do your schooling and then there's internships. And from what I've heard, internships isn't quite like residency. Is there like maybe some key differences that you would identify between the two?
When you say internships, do you mean like technically they call us interns our first year of residency? Is that what you're referring to? Or
That
like,
and like maybe like the last like I think like the last 2 years, like you guys are already doing kind of some kind of like interning.
oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, thank you. Yes, so medical school, so you go to college. Well, first you go to high school, and then you graduate, and then you go to 4 years of college. Some colleges have combined college and medical school, which is 5 or 6 years, but most places you go to 4 years of college, then you apply to medical school, you go to medical school for 4 years. Then from medical school, after you graduate, you are a doctor regardless of if you do residency or not. You're a physician, you got your degree, your MD, your DO, whatever it is. Um, and then after medical school, you apply to residency if you want. Most people do, and that's where you pick your specialty. That's anywhere from 3 to 7 years, depending on what you pick. Most are like 3 to 4. Pediatrics is 3, thank goodness. Um, and then after you do your residency, you can then decide, are you going to be a generalist in your field? So like for me, am I going to be a general pediatrician who can then, be an attending, see patients in the hospital or in clinic? Or do I want to further specialize in pediatric care, which I do. I want to be a pediatric oncologist. So then I'll do a fellowship, which is an additional 1 to 3 years. For oncology, it's 3, of course. And then after that, I'm Dr. Moore, and I'm like, we're good. Um,
Good
so
things come in three, right?
good things come in 3. So, yeah, so in medical school, breaking it down, your first year to 2 years are like book learning. So you're doing a lot of like lectures, but then you're also in the anatomy lab. You're learning how to be a doctor. So you're learning your interview skills, your physical exam skills, all of that. And then you'll take like a board exam or two. Then in your last 2 years, you start rotating in the hospital where you essentially are like working like you're a resident. The hours are a little bit better because we recognize your students because you're still taking tests after you're working. And yeah, you're really getting a feel for what it's like to be a doctor. So during your 3rd year, they make you do core rotations, which are kind of the main specialties. I think there's 8 of them that you rotate through, and that helps people not only get like a broad understanding of medicine as a whole, but also you start to feel out where you might be interested in doing your residency. And then in your 4th year, we call that sub-internship, or sub-I for short. Some places call it acting intern. The point is you're working like an intern, so exactly how you will in residency. You're not getting paid. In fact, you're paying to be there, but you're like learning with a safety net of being a student, which is nice. So you really get a feel for what it's like to be an intern in whatever specialty you picked, and you kind of rotate through different specialties, different hospitals, whatever it is. You get to pick your rotations at that point, which is nice. And then, yeah, then you go and you become an actual intern, which is your 1st year of residency, which is essentially doing what you did, but now you're getting a paycheck, which is great. So it makes it all worth
I
it.
would assume, yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's so great. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very in-depth explanation, and I'm sure that that clears up a lot of questions that people have about,
Mhm.
oh, what is med school like? Oh, what is like, going into the field like? Because I think that like obviously as we start thinking about these things, we're gonna go and research, and I'm sure that we can probably find this information online, but
Yeah.
it's nice to hear firsthand that, like there are some small differences and that there are a lot of
Mhm.
different experiences that you'll get to have throughout those years,
Absolutely.
and that there's a reason why that it takes that many years to become a
Yes.
physician. It's to make sure that you've covered all your bases, for sure this is what you want to do, and then you go and do it. So I think
Hmm.
it's definitely great that we can really think about these things and maybe digest it a little while we're younger. And we don't have to make the decisions yet, but at least
Yeah, you have.
it gives us kind of like an idea, a roadmap, if you will, of what's gonna coming like ahead of us.
Yeah, yeah. You've got a
This
lot of time. A lot of people will enter medical school and not know what specialty. Like it's actually uncommon to know what you want to do. Like I just happen to know, but most people they enter, they're just like, let's see what it is, and then you kind of just find the space that speaks to you. So,
Yeah, definitely. You talked about like how kind of like med school taught some of those interview communications, like bedside manners, especially I think, and all of those other skills. So I know that you kind of do a lot of advocacy work aside from being a physician. And so I'm sure that some of those skills have translated over. But in terms of like maybe for people my age in general who maybe want to advocate for some kind of healthcare, whether that's cancer care or something else, do you have any advice on maybe how we could get started with that?
ooh, that's a really good question. Honestly, I feel like if you're able to, see, you're in high school, mm, I feel like if you can, kind of like how you know me, which I mean, you just happen to know me because I was one of your doctors, but like,
Yeah.
if you're able to get a connection in some way to like a medical school or some sort of like health center, even asking your own pediatrician, because a lot of us are, particularly in pediatrics at least, we are involved in advocacy for all of children's health, not just cancer care, like you're saying. So,
Hmm.
and there's a whole organization called the AAP that we're all a part of that like advocates for children's health. So I would say the easiest way might be to actually just go through your own doctor that you have and see if there's any opportunities for like just ways to get involved. It gets much easier once you're like in college and in medical school and you're like readily around these people. And there's like interest groups and clubs and all of these things that will essentially bring all of the causes to you, which is nice. And then you can kind of pick what you're passionate about. But at this point, I would say that might be the easiest way. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like that might be the easiest way. Because I feel like for me at least, getting involved when I was your age was through my doctors.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's wonderful. And I think that, sometimes maybe a lot of people are a little bit afraid to talk to their doctors more, but I think,
We're so friendly.
yeah,
It's
giving the
fine.
advice to just talk and, try to
Yeah.
get to know people better in general. Like you never know who knows what. And,
Hmm.
I think being brave and taking that first step to say, hey,
Yeah.
I want to make a change. Can you help me to get to the point where I can do something about it? That, that takes a lot of
Yeah.
courage, but I think that,
Yes.
that's something that kids can learn how to do
And we will
nowadays.
help you. We want to help you. We love hearing when our patients are even like the most smallest bit interested in medicine or health or literally anything. Like, we want to help. We think it's so awesome, obviously, because we chose this as our career path. But yes, any way that we can help support you guys, like, we are here for it. So please don't be afraid to bring it up.
That's so lovely.
Yeah.
Okay, so a little concluding question.
Yes.
Obviously, medical field is always changing, and it might
Hmm.
be a little bit of a far fetch, but how do you see your field changing in the next 5 to 10 years?
Ooh, great question. How do I see? You know, I'll go with pediatric oncology since that's like all my brain really works for. I'm like, that's my field. Um,
Hmm.
I see us, oh, fingers crossed, having more targeted therapies to treat childhood cancers. Because as you know, right now we have chemotherapy, we have radiation, we have surgery, and maybe like we're dabbling in some gene therapy, which is like targeted medicine. But if we can like really figure out what's causing the cancer and then create a medicine that like only targets the cancer so that we're not causing all of these other side effects and making kids really sick. That would be the hope. And honestly, like we're getting there. There's a lot of studies in process. So I think that's how I see my field evolving, and I'm praying that it does.
Definitely. And I think,
Yeah.
I mean, in general, I think even if we look back in history, I think people who come into this field have always hoped for maybe a cancer-free world.
Yeah.
And maybe that's not 5 to 10 years, but we
Hmm.
always would like to say, hey, better sooner than later, right?
Yeah. And we're working. We're all working for it. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's that's my hope, but I also see it coming. So
Okay, well, we'll definitely keep on looking out for it. And I'm sure that there are so many of us out here who want to continue on into this journey, such as myself.
yeah.
And I think that knowing that the people who go into this field are typically very passionate about how they want to see some changes and really do care for the people behind it is definitely something that, we can all maybe think about a little bit of the humanity of it. And that, all that research, yeah, it's math, it's science, but it's people. At the end of the day, we're doing this for the sake of the people.
Exactly.
And, sometimes, just thinking about them can be so important to keep us going in this long, long journey.
It's really helpful. Like as you're studying for your math test, or your science test, or you're writing your English paper, like all of those things are all skills that you're going to use if you do pursue a career in medicine or in the healthcare field. Like they're all tools that you're going to use. And it again becomes clearer once you kind of get farther along in your journey, the connection, but just know that it's not for nothing and it is all going to help you reach whatever goal that you have.
All right. Well, I'm very grateful for everything that you shared today. And thank you
Yeah.
so much. Like, really, your journey is so inspiring. And, those experiences, I'm sure they're very unique, but I think a lot of people can pick up and learn different things from your story. And I
Yeah.
think that those insights that you shared about your pathway and also kind of your journey will definitely be something that we can all learn from. And it's definitely something that's super valuable for us. We really appreciate all the openness that you've had
Of
today and
course.
generosity in helping students better understand what it takes to build this kind of a career in healthcare. And
Mhm.
really, believe me when I say this, your words is not just going to guide us, but it will also inspire to build the next generation of, pediatric oncologists or just pediatricians. So
Yeah.
thank you so much, Dr.
Thank you
Tay.
so much for thinking of me.